Keir Starmer says Britain is in the fight of our times. That's big. Then that's a pretty scary line, and it should make everyone sit up in their seat. So last weekend in the UK, huge crowds turned out to march against the government. The majority of people I speak to over in the UK, well, they're pretty pissed off. There's asylum hotels in towns, housing is squeezed, local services are pushed to the edge, and communities are fed up. Like, that's real. That's not just a theatre. And a leader's job is simple. Listen, explain, and then fix the problem. A leader's job isn't to put a tweet out like you're gearing a nation up for battle. And you definitely don't call out your own people, potentially labelling them as a threat. We have to break down the language that he's using here. Politicians are using punchy war words. Fight, renewal, toxic division. This isn't calming, it's panic dressed up as leadership. And when governments panic, well, they move pretty fast. And when majority of your politicians have never seen a hard days of work in their life and don't actually know what real pressure looks like, how do you think they're going to react? And this is what happens when power feels threatened. Politicians know how words work. A speech, a tweet, a headline that can manufacture fear and how people react to that. That's why this choice of word looks very tactical from Keir Starmer. And I think it's actually meant to stir a reaction from the people. Definitely not calm the situation down. Now, let's look back to yesterday. Chris Bowen, the Australian Energy Minister, he warns lives are at stake from climate change. Yet we're exporting huge amounts of coal and gas to be burned overseas. So if his warnings are true, the hypocrisy is off the charts. Shipping coal and gas overseas just means it's getting burnt in the same atmosphere. And by his own logic, the deaths will still roll in. Chris, that doesn't make any sense. Governments are now in panic mode. And this is pretty dangerous. So governments are panicking, and when they panic, they go to extreme measures. Right, so let me break it down for you a bit here. This is psychological manipulation 101. Politicians, they inflame their language, they delegitimize critics, and some of their followers hear that as a permission to then shut people down. When leaders scream out, "We'll all die unless," a portion of their believers may start to treat critics as dangerous threats. So they harass and they threaten to silence anyone. Now, I'm not accusing anyone of organizing any type of violence. I'm warning that rhetoric makes that type of behavior more likely. And that's the real danger of panic language. Why is this type of language being pushed down onto the people? What's their end plan here? Do they have one, or are they just going to keep fearing us into compliance? And what does that result in? That's my biggest question here. Keir Starmer talks about we're in the fight of our lives. Against who? Your own people? And what's the end result of that? What, you want to go to civil war with your own people? Is that the end result? Is that what you're trying to push here? So for leaders like Albo, Keir Starmer, Chris Bowen, this isn't a battlefield. You're not in a fight against your own people. You've got a chance to listen and make things right. And you got to stop throwing petrol on a fire with your scary words. You have to fix the problem, or else the angrier, they'll just get bigger. What's your thoughts?
You know how efficient our House of Representatives and the government is when it comes to anything for Israel? Just in this year alone, during the Charlie Kirk assassination, they passed the Boebert bill, which punishes anyone who boycotts Israel. Passed the bill to increase their spending by $9 billion of your taxpayer money to give to Israel so they can commit a Holocaust. They passed a bill to impose sanctions on the ICC for charging Netanyahu as a war criminal, in which he is. They passed a bill for loan guarantees, weapons guarantees for Israel. They've just introduced a bill to revoke any passports or deny passports to anyone who criticizes the government of Israel. The Republicans and Democrats alike can vote on all of these bills and pass them, but we can't get them to agree on releasing the Epstein files, bringing to justice pedophiles and human traffickers at the highest, most elite levels, and protecting these victims. We can't agree on that, but we can pass fucking 5, 6, 7 bills for anything for Israel. Meanwhile, American citizens like you and I struggle. Grocery prices have not gone down. Gas prices have not gone down. Fucking drug prices have not gone down. Big Pharma is still running amok and extorting U.S. citizens who are in fear of losing their life to a chronic illness, and they're profiting off of it. We have American citizens that have lost health care. We have American citizens that cannot afford health care. We have kids that are going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to go to college just to come out to realize there's no jobs to be had. Interest rates are still out of this fucking world. But at least our government can just pass bill after bill after bill after bill for Israel. And at least we can send them all of our tax dollars to make sure that they have universal health care for free for all their citizens, as well as universal college for all their citizens. We're trillions of dollars in debt. They're billions of dollars in debt. And it's not Republicans. It's not Democrats. It's both of y'all. You're both at fault for this shit because you're controlled by fucking Israel. I've changed my political views from independent to officially fuck Israel.
It feels feels like our country has abandoned us. It feels like our culture has been eroded, dissolved, and being replaced. See, we don't have a homeland to run to. This is our homeland. See, this is our darkest hour. In World War II, we stood up with the crown to fight for this country. Our grandparents, they died for this country. They helped build this country, just so the establishment can give this country away. Make us the minority, label us as the racist and the far right, and then they charge us for doing it. They're taxing us so highly that we cannot build wealth. Our children cannot inherit wealth. The UK has been rug pulled from us.
And our leaders are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America. That's what's happening in this country. I just said it. That's what's going on in this country. And our FBI is corrupt. The Supreme Court is corrupt. The Justice Department is corrupt. The news media is corrupt. The whole country is corrupt. Because we've walked away from Almighty God and we've allowed Kabbalah-practicing Jews to defile the nation. Put that video out. Go ahead and clip this video and send it out. I dare you. You won't do it because you're scared that the truth may get out to the American people. I'm had it up to here with the corruption in this country. Little children being raped for the benefit of Israel. That's all it's about, Doc. Little American children being raped for the benefit of Israel. American politicians raping little American girls to be videotaped by Israeli Mossad so that Israel can blackmail American politicians. That's the state of America today. God ought to destroy this country for what we've become.
In this silence, I lose my name. A journey where nothing is the same. Caught in the dance of ego's might, feeling the pull of the dark and the light. Lost in the maze of my mind, burning like the flames tonight. With every step I take the dive,
the summer. Shawty spit on the dick like a llama. Coca raised that bitch like a mama. Chest stove to my truck and a sauna. Bad bitch wanna flex my ice. Little bitch that shit cost so life. Got shit like it got no price. Top gang, y'all walking like mice. Space dash to the guap on schedule. Big smash on the